Okay, so let's dive into this. We're looking at a specific slice of Ontario history today from 1849.
That's right, based on excerpts from A Tale of the Preston-Guelph Stagecoach.
And it gives us this, really vivid picture of what travel was like then, before railways.
Exactly, focusing on that stagecoach route, Preston to Guelph. Important connection.
But it's not just about the route, is it? Your source tells one very specific, dramatic story.
It really does. Centers on one journey, Lowell's company stagecoach, and the people on board.
Right. Let's meet them quickly.
There's Frank Sachs, who, well, the source says is struggling with drink.
Yes. And Mr. and Mrs. H. Riley heading to a wedding,
Okay? And Sam Schofield.
visiting his daughter.
Yeah,
And then there's Flynn Doyle, a young guy, a pugilist, a boxer.
a boxer. Okay. And crucially, there's something valuable on board, too.
Yes, a strong box, carrying the payroll for a local mill. That's key.
So the drama kicks off at a place called the Globe Hotel in Fisher Mills.
Yeah, a regular stop. But someone's waiting. A man named Donny McDonnel.
And he's not just hanging around. No. Your source says he's got a pistol. He's clearly after that payroll.
And one of the passengers actually recognizes him later.
Right. Sam Schofield. He identifies McDonnell
As who?
as a former worker at Clemens Mill, apparently fired for drinking.
Okay. So maybe desperate, maybe knows about the payroll schedule.
That seems to be the implication. So passengers are getting back on the coach.
And McDonnell makes his move.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Gun out, demanding the strong box. Must have been terrifying.
I can only imagine. But this is where Flynn Doyle, the boxer, comes in.
Yes. The source really highlights his reaction. Instincts just take over,
Despite the god.
despite the gun. He lunges at McDonnell, and it turns into this, well, chaotic fight.
Right there inside the hotel.
Inside the hotel, broken nose mentioned, the pistol goes off but hits nothing, furniture crashing.
Wow.
And then, it seems Doyle's training kicks in. The source mentions specific boxing moves.
Like what?
An uppercut, body blows. Sounds quite deliberate. He knocks McDonnell out cold.
Incredible. So, chaos, then sudden quiet, I guess. What happens right after?
Well, someone fetches the constable from Hespeler nearby.
And the passengers.
Shaken up, obviously, but safe. And the payroll is secure. That's the main thing.
But the source mentions something specific about Frank Sachs, the man struggling with drink.
It does. It's quite striking, actually. Seeing Flynn's bravery, it hits Sachs hard.
How so?
The source says he pours out his flask right then and there, decides to quit drinking, inspired by Flynn.
That's quite a ripple effect already. One man's action changing another's life path.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, Schofield's ID helps put the pieces together about McDonnell's motive.
Right. So danger averted, lesson learned. They continued to Gwelf.
They do. The journey finishes without any more trouble, but the story isn't quite over when they arrive.
No. What happens in Gwelf?
They get to the Albion Hotel, and somehow word's already spread about the robbery attempt.
The head of the stagecoach. Huh.
Yeah, and constables are waiting.
To arrest Flynn. Or question him.
Neither, actually. They need his help.
His help. Why?
Because Donny McDonnell, the guy Flynn knocked out, he escaped custody back in Fisher Mills.
Oh, wow. Seriously?
Seriously. And they think he's heading for Gwelf. So knowing Flynn handled him before...
They figure he's the man for the job.
Kind of, yeah. They ask him to help find McDonnell. The source says Flynn agrees.
Even delays going to that wedding with the Rileys.
Yes. Postpones the invitation from them. Duty calls, I suppose.
So the boxer turns detective, almost. Does he find him?
He does. The source tracks Flynn's search through Gwelf, leading to the Queen's Arms Tavern.
Another confrontation.
Yes. McDonnell tries to fight back, apparently with a broken bottle this time.
And Flynn.
Uses his skills again, dodges, lands a specific blow solar plexus mentioned, and subdues him. Properly this time. The constables take McDonnell away.
And this second time. The source suggests it really changes Flynn.
It seems so. Standing there after that second fight, it's like a realization hits him.
What kind of realization?
That his boxing skills aren't just for, sport. He used them to protect people, to enforce a kind of justice. It gave him a new purpose.
That's fascinating. So this one event, this attempted robbery, it really did send out ripples.
Huge ripples. Frank Sachs' sobriety. The Rileys' wedding story must have been something else. Sam Schofield's moment of fame, and Flynn Doyle's entire future, seemingly.
It really shows how one dramatic, unexpected moment, pulled from your source here, can just completely alter several lives instantly.
Changes their personal stories, touches the community. all from that clash in Fisher Mills back in 1849.
So connecting this deep dive to, well, us.
Yeah.
It does make you think, doesn't it?
It really does. And it leaves you with a question to mull over. How often do these sudden challenges, these crises, actually uncover skills or strengths we never knew we had?
Right. And can those moments push us onto completely different, maybe even better paths?
Exactly. Something to think about.